What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome back to the 32-team 7-round mock draft series, where today we're going to be taking a look at the team that holds the 15th overall pick in the first round, and that is the Washington Redskins. Now, it's always difficult to mock for these teams that aren't the Philadelphia Eagles that play in the NFC East, but I have tried my hardest over the last couple years to make sure it remains as unbiased as humanly possible. And hey, maybe as an Eagle fan, I can offer the kind of opinion that most fans of, the Cowboys, the Redskins, the Giants need to hear, because I'm not going to, cut corners. I'm not going to be cooker cutter. I'm not going to try to fit an agenda. I'm just going to say it is how it is. And the Redskins got a lot of work to do. But I will also say, I think always every year, teams and people and fans constantly undervalue just the kind of talent that the Redskins really do have. So I'm going to try in this mock draft to maximize the talent they currently have on the roster and try and find a way to get them competitive, to reinvigorate that fan base in this 2019 season. So first up at pick 15, and now I gotta put the little star here because I think for this pick to happen, which I actually think there's a decent possibility, like if I was putting a bet on a team to get this player, if I want to make some money, I'd probably gamble on the Redskins to get him. I don't think they'll get him at 15, but I do think they will trade up to get him if he does slip past X amount of team. And I was like the Kyler Murray, quarterback from Oklahoma. They need a quarterback, man. Alex Smith is not the future. Alex Smith, does he have a future with that horrible injury? You look right now on their roster, they have Case Keenum and Colt McCoy. That will not cut it for a fan base that is desperate for just something to get behind. This is a pick that can reinvigorate the fan base. You look at the Washington Redskins and why they are fit for Kyler Murray. Obviously, you get a guy that is a QB guru. That's what he got hired for in Jay Gruden. You got an offensive line for the most part that is stronger than most teams in the National Football League. I don't know what they're thinking about bringing in Eric Flowers, but Morgan Moses and Trent Williams at tackle, they're really solid to really good tackles. Obviously, Trent Williams is a legend. You got Brandon Schriff, Chase Roulier, the 6th-round pick in 2017, has emerged as a really nice center. So you can shore up one of those guard spots, make sure Eric Flowers is absolutely not starting at all, and they have one of the better offensive lines in the league. You look at the running back attack, AP's an ageless wonder. You got Darius Geis, who's going to have really, really big expectations next year. You got Chris Thompson, who's one of the best receiving backs in the league. You look at tight end, if you gamble that Jordan Reed can stay healthy, that is an awesome safety net. Plus, you got Vernon Davis behind him, who's, again, kind of like AP, ageless wonder. So going for a team that most could benefit Kyler Murray, why not Washington? Washington is a good fit. I think ultimately the biggest thing for Kyler Murray is you need a good offensive line. You need a strong offensive line, and I think that the Washington Redskins versus any other team that's kind of in need of a quarterback right now, probably the best landing spot here for Kyler Murray. And I think the pick, the excitement of bringing in a guy like Kyler Murray is going to, give the fan base something that they haven't had since like RG3's rookie year. And I know that, maybe that's going down, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on me if they get another mobile quarterback after everything that happened with RG3. But you're not going to have to give up the assets you gave up to trade up to get RG3. I feel like there's actually a shot Kyler Murray could go at 15, slip a little bit. I think he will slip if he doesn't go to the Arizona Cardinals. And like I said, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. Just imagine, the excitement around the Redskins if they get Kyler Murray. They'll get a lot more buzz, some positive PR for once for this team. Like I said, as an Eagle fan, I'm trying not to be an asshole. I'm actually thinking about the fan base. Give you guys something to cheer about and not, we got Case Keenum as our quarterback next year, and we paid Alex Smith a godly amount of money, and we don't even know if we'll ever play again because it's all guaranteed. So that sucks. So look at Kyler Murray in the first round here, Redskins. Do the right thing. Moving into the second round at pick 46, I was selecting HAKEEM BUTLER, wide receiver from Iowa State. He was your height, weight, speed freak, 6'6", ran 4.49, sub 4.5 at the combine. He has an absolutely insane catch radius. He's at wow catchability. I've been on the HAKEEM BUTLER hype train. I would say I was one of the first people. I don't know if I can come out and say I'm the conductor of the HAKEEM BUTLER hype train, but before he made a couple wow catches that got viral on Twitter, I was telling everybody, look at this guy. I watched one Iowa State game just randomly, and he was tearing it up. And I was like, okay, who's this tight end? And like, oh no, he's a wide receiver. Okay, very interesting. And since then, it's been a bromance. It's been a bromance ever since then. And I think when you look at HAKEEM BUTLER, he's upside to emerge, I honestly think, as the wide receiver 1 here for the Washington Redskins. You look at the Redskins wide receivers right now. You have Josh Doxson, the first-round pick in 2016, bust. Paul Richardson got brought in to be a playmaker. you know, he probably will still give you some plays. He was just, you know, struggling with his health a little bit last year, as was pretty much most people on the Washington Redskins. You got Trey Quinn, Mr. Irrelevant, which I thought, honestly, and I said last year, was like the best Mr. Irrelevant pick ever. I don't know how he went that far. Now, his play out of the slot pretty much gave the Redskins, you know, they can move on from Jameson Crowder and feel comfortable that Trey Quinn can step up. So I think that was an excellent deal. But ultimately, there is not much at wide receiver. It's a dumpster fire for the most part at wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. They could use 3 wide receivers in this draft. We have them getting 2, but starting with HAKEEM Butler, even if you're trying to like salvage some of the guys that are on that roster, no one offers what HAKEEM Butler will be able to bring to this team. Even Jordan Reed, like they don't have a red zone. Their tight end, Jordan Reed's one of the smaller tight ends in the league. He's not really a red zone threat. So a guy like HAKEEM Butler is going to tick off a lot of boxes here for this passing offense. I think him and Kyler Murray, that is enough buzz to keep the Redskins fan base pretty happy. Going into the 3rd round, they have 2 third-round picks. First up at 76, getting another wide receiver. I'm selecting Ridley, wide receiver from Georgia. I'll tell you right now, he is a guy that a lot of scouts, almost every scout has higher than me. I've watched him. I haven't been blown away. I'm kind of still uncertain why. But the positives are his route running is very, very good. I can give him full credit for that. He's definitely one of the better route runners in this year's draft class. But he had a disappointing combine, running 4.58. And obviously, it's tough to, you know, look at stats and look at the big wow plays when you're coming from Georgia. They're not a passing team. They run the ball a lot. So, you know, benefit of the doubt there. And when you look at the Washington Redskins again, when I talked about HAKEEM Butler, they can use multiple wide receivers. They need to do a complete overhaul at that wide receiver position. And I'm looking right now more so, like they're going to not give up on Paul Richardson. You saw they paid him to come in and do a job. You get Trey Quinn in the slot. But I honestly, right now, as much as I'm still uncertain about Ridley, give me Ridley over Josh Doxson. Doxson has failed to do anything in his NFL career, so I just, you know, it's almost time to move on. You know, maybe make him earn for his spot right now. And I think a guy like Ridley really will be able to push him and get 2 big-time playmakers to come out help Kyler Murray. I think it's almost a must-have here for the Washington Redskins. Going to their 2nd third-round pick at 96, I have them selecting Joe Giles Harris, linebacker from Duke. You know, he had a below-average combine, but his tape is excellent. Seems like still, even after the bad combine, most scouts have him as a late day 2 pick because his tape is so good, man. He has an absolute nose for the ball. He has good coverage ability, high IQ, and I think ultimately when you look at the Redskins' defense that has been kind of underrated, they do need to find another middle linebacker in there to come over and take over Zach Brown's job and be the partner here to Mason Foster. They got Sean Dion Hamilton. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I don't have any Alabama players. They'll probably grab one in UDFA or something like that. I don't have any Alabama players here in my mock draft. So maybe from that, if you don't really have an Alabama player going to the Redskins in the draft, is it really a Redskins mock draft? But I think a guy like Joe Giles Harris can come in right away, start, and earn that starting linebacker spot, even with the, you know, below average. It wasn't a terrible combine, just didn't stand out. You know, when you saw guys like Tremaine Edmonds last year and you know, Roquan Smith and all these guys have really, really good combines. And you saw this year, you saw the 2 Devons, Devin White and Devin Bush, have really, really good combines. That's kind of what you expect. And for a guy like Giles Harris, that a lot of people in the scouting committee thought if he had a dominant combine, could become an early 2nd, maybe, and this is, you know, stretching it, a 1st-round pick. You know, pick 96, that's good value here. And I think it obviously offers a big-time upgrade for a position of need on this Redskins defense. Going into the 5th round, where they have 2 5th-round picks. First off, at pick 153, I'm selecting Mark Fields, cornerback from Clemson. He would come in and compete to be their starting nickel right away. He had a great combine, 4.37 40, 18 on the bench press, big game experience from Clemson, offers the fast twitch and tackling ability that you kind of want to look for a nickel corner in today's National Football League. And I think he could earn starting nickel duty as a rookie. I kind of think right now the cornerback room for the Washington Redskins is a mess. How's it going to play out? You got Josh Norman, Fabian Moreau, Greg Strobin, Adonis Alexander, Quentin Dunbar. I mean, none of these guys are all like, I feel like their roles are kind of undefined. Like Fabian Moreau, you're probably going to want him on the outside. He's a twitchy, fast, long limb corner. You got Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Okay. Throwing anything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I like that. I like that roster building decision there, Washington. But obviously, you're going to hope for big things from Josh Norman again. He's getting paid as such. But after that, there's just a lot of questions about where these guys are actually going to fall and start. And I think adding a guy like Mark Fields right away in camp, you're going to be blown away by this athleticism. And I think he will find his way on the field sooner than later. And we saw the Redskins right now, they're kind of getting a little Al Davis-y by drafting the best athletes. We saw that last year in the 4th round by selecting Troy Apke, who just was a height, weight, speed type guy. I think a guy like Mark Fields kind of falls in that trend, and maybe gives you a little bit better production right away. Going to their second 5th round pick at 173, I'm selecting Foster Moreau, tight end from LSU. He had an excellent combine, and I think ultimately, honestly, here's my notes for this mock draft. You might need to switch this pick with the Joe Giles Harris pick, like to make it, if you're trying to make it super realistic. Foster Moreau in the 3rd, Joe Giles Harris in the 5th. They could go either way, depends on how you want your mock draft to go. But Moreau has definitely been one of the biggest risers out of any position in the combine, maybe the biggest from the tight ends. Jordan Reed, just right now at this point, can't be relied upon, and having an old man in Vernon Davis as his top backup, because Jeremy Sprinkle is what it is at this point. He's just depth. Maybe invest. Maybe it's gonna be worth, like I said, a 5th round pick for how this mock draft played out. Like I said, he might cost a 3rd in real life to get him, but for how my mock draft, he was still there in the 5th. I think that's that's worth the investment to bring in an insurance policy that also can develop into a long-term option at the tight end position. I'm more so looking at, like, if Jordan Reed can't stay healthy again, it's not just so much who is going to be the depth to step up when he goes down for like spot work duty, but it's going to be, are you just going to cut ties with Jordan Reed and move on because he cannot be relied upon to get paid that big type of money? I think a guy like Foster Moreau has that upside to emerge as a starter at the tight end position, and getting that in the 5th round here for the Washington Redskins is really good values. Moreau has really good hands, showed it off at the combine, and he was already regarded as one of the better blocking tight ends in this year's draft class, so he's very well rounded, and I really hate to say that I like this pick for the Redskins. Going into the 6th round at pick 206, I'm selecting Bunchy Stallings, offensive lineman from Kentucky, and a powerful interior offensive lineman. He can play center, but I think he probably would have a chance to start at guard. Right now, I'm just using ourlads.com. They have Eric Flowers penciled in at left guard, but ultimately, that left guard spot is going to be up for grabs between him, Kyle Fuller, most likely. I think a guy like Bunchy Stallings could get that. I mean, Kentucky has been one of the better run-blocking offensive lines in the college football world, obviously blocking for Benny Snell, who's one of the best running backs. So a lot of production. I think a lot of these guys on the Kentucky offensive line this year and next year are going to be getting drafted because they are NFL caliber. And I really don't think there's a starting guard next to Brandon Schreff on this roster right now. I think a guy like Stallings could surprise a lot of people and provide really good depth for a team that has drafted well late in the draft. I love the Chase Roulier pick. I actually commended them on that in 2017. And look, he's now their starter and maybe one of the guys that has the most upside on their O-line. So again, C4. I actually think I had Chase Roulier mocked to them in that mock draft. That's what made me feel so smart. I think you listen to me again. I think Bunchy Stallings could emerge as a starter at guard next to Brandon Schreff, and that's in the 6th round at pick 206. Now, finishing up in the 7th round, they have 2 picks. First up at 227, I was selecting DELVON Randall, safety from Temple. Comes in safety depth, brings in special teams help right away, but Randall is a very good tackler, high IQ, and has ball skills. 12 interceptions in the last 3 years for Temple. 4 picks, so it's consistent. It's not like he had a boom or bust, but he didn't really test particularly well at their pro day, kind of looking like a limited athlete, but I'm kind of looking at the safety tandems here. You got Landon Collins, okay? You got Monte Nicholson, okay? Troy Apke, can he develop, okay? Deshazor Everett's garbage. Jeremy Reeves was a former cornerback here for the Eagles. We brought him as an undrafted free agent. He's, a body for the most part, but I think Randall brings in a lot more production and ball skills than pretty much all those guys as mentioned. Maybe not so Monte Nicholson, but get some more depth there for that safety tandem. In the 7th round, you're trying to find guys that could develop into a starter, but more so earlier on are going to be able to bring some special teams ability, hands team ability. I think you're going to get that in DELVON Randall. And then finishing up in the 7th round at pick 253, I'm selecting, Jesus Christ, how do you say this? Osia Opeta. We're going to go with Opeta. That guy from Weber State. Weber Cooks. Ever see that viral video from Weber State that had the terrifying combine? Small school prospect. Wasn't even able to find tape on him. But here you go. This is where you get these guys in the 7th round. 6'4", 300 pounds. Ran almost a sub 540. 39 reps on the bench press. Because I haven't seen any tape, I'm just going to throw it out there. He's probably, most likely, a practice squad candidate, but you're getting a lot to work with here for an athletic offensive lineman. Now, let's be honest, with the amount of turnover that the Redskins have had on the offensive line, not so much from losing guys to free agency or cutting them, but just from injury, you can never have enough depth and enough guys in the pipeline getting developed and ready to go. So that's why I'm thinking with Iosua Opeta. We'll go with that from Weber State. Weber Cooks, everybody. Please, someone else. Hope someone gets that reference. But there you go, guys. That finishes up the Washington Redskins 7-round mock draft, landing Kyler Murray. Redskin fans, let me know how you feel with this mock draft in the comment section below. As always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.